Elite Facts presents
Strangest things found at the bottom of the ocean. 8. Pirate ships and gunnery. It should be of no surprise that wreckage and debris from pirate ships lay in the depths of the ocean. That being said, though, it does raise the thoughts of how damaged these relics actually are. Well, as it turns out, their weaponry was pretty durable, and a whole loot load of it was found between 1966 and 2014. How long have those been there? In 1718, an infamous pirate by the name of Blackbeard was forced to sink his ship after it was stranded in shallow water off the coast of Beaufort. In 1966, the ruins of Queen Anne's Revenge were discovered in the water. The wreckage of this ship contained thousands of artifacts and weaponry used by Blackbeard's crew. In 2013, North Carolina's Department of Cultural Resources whipped out the big guns, literally, pulling a set of cannons weighing more than 2,000 pounds apiece from the depths. All in all, 20 different cannons have been recovered thus far, with the official recovery concluded in 2014.
7.
Doomed emeralds. When you think of lost jewelry, you often think of the ending to James Cameron's Titanic, where Rose dropped that priceless necklace into the ocean. Well, this is nothing like that. In fact, this is probably the sequel, in which someone discovered that piece of jewelry and it turned out to be haunted. In 2010, an amateur diver and treasure seeker, Jay Miskovich, finally found his treasure deep in the Gulf off the coast of Florida. What he discovered was a bracelet of emeralds worth millions. This will go down as one of the strangest things uncovered in the sea because of the controversy surrounding the findings. You'd think Miskovich's emeralds would have made him a wealthy man, right? Nope, not at all. Instead, Miskovich was slapped with a court order as soon as the news broke out about his incredible discovery, causing the feds to get involved. A court order granted him only temporary custody of the emeralds, and because of that, Miskovich couldn't sell even a single carat. And then there's the mystery surrounding the emeralds. No one's really sure where they came from. You'd think that'd be the end, right? Well, no. This story only gets creepier. How does a story like this get creepier, you might ask? Well, it turns out that Miskovich ended up killing himself, leaving many questions unanswered. Some said he could no longer wait to gain back what he found because he was so deep in debt. Others claim he found being mired in a federal investigation to be his tipping point.
6.
Apollo 11 remains. So this is actually quite incredible when you think about it. In 2014, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos uncovered components of two F-1 rocket engines from the Apollo 11. Considering that these components have been submerged for around 50 years, it's pretty amazing to think, as they look to be in fairly decent condition. They had been lying deep in the Atlantic Ocean since 1969, and they're part of the craft that allowed astronauts to be sent to the moon for the very first time. The engines are one of the strangest things ever recovered, not because it's such a feat to have been found, but because Bezos' efforts seem to have no underlying reason, as if one day he just woke up and decided out of the blue to recover the engines simply because it's something he could do, which is why Bezos funded the whole project and also why the press has called him insane.
5.
Yanaguni Monument. On the southern coast of Yanaguni, submerged ruins were discovered and are estimated to be around 10,000 years old. Its origin has been the subject of much debate, as to this day it's unknown what culture these ruins originated from. The rock formation known as the Yanaguni Monument is a bizarre series of rock structures that look like ancient stone buildings designed by a lunatic. There are all kinds of architectural oddities, including lots of 90-degree angles, straight columns, a boulder sitting on a platform, and a rock protrusion that looks like a face. It almost looks like it was created using machinery, just by how crisp the whole structure looks. Scientists are split over whether it's man-made or a natural consequence of earthquakes and strong currents.
4.
The Lost City of Heraklion. Lost underwater cities are no stranger to media attention. Some of the best folktales and even films have been created using this plot device. That being said, however, did you know that there's plenty of underwater cities that have been discovered around the world? Take this one, for example, as this city has been cited as one of the greatest underwater finds in history. After 4 years of searching, a team of archaeologists, led by head archaeologist Dr. Gaudio, found an entire city lying hidden 30 feet below the surface of Abukir Bay. The city was known as Thonis to the ancient Egyptians and Heraklion to the Greeks, who named it after the mythological hero Heracles, or Hercules as we commonly know him. Hundreds of artifacts from ship anchors to sarcophagus jewels have been recovered.
3,
Michigan's Stonehenge. We all know about the original Stonehenge in Wiltshire, England, but did you know that in 2007 another Stonehenge-type structure was found submerged within Lake Michigan, nearly 4,000 miles away from the original? While not an ocean find, this is weird enough to be included on this list. Mark Holley, a professor of underwater archaeology, and his friend Brian Abbott made a truly weird discovery when they were out on Lake Michigan taking sonar readings. They found an array of vertical pillars that is strongly reminiscent of Stonehenge. Even weirder, they're next to a boulder that appears to carry an ancient engraving of a mastodon and a pile of car and boat skeletons. Again, this is crazy to think that two similar yet extremely rare sculptures exist 4,000 miles apart from each other. That is just nuts.
2,
The Mary Rose. So, yeah, it's not exactly a shocker, really. Ships sink often enough. What makes this ship impressive, though, is the fact that this ship sank in the year 1510 and was discovered over 400 years later. Why is that surprising? Well, how about the fact that most of the ship was able to be recovered? Most ships that sink are pretty much unsalvageable. And don't get us wrong, this ship won't ever set sail again. However, most of the boat's frame and even some of the outer workings of the boat were in fairly decent condition, considering how old it is and how long it's been submerged for. The Mary Rose may have a perfectly benign name, but its purpose was deadly. It was one of the most advanced warships of its time, first setting sail in 1511. After 33 years of use, it was sunk in the ocean north of the Isle of Wight to be salvaged by the Mary Rose Trust in 1982. It was an extremely complicated and expensive operation, but they recovered hundreds of artifacts that have given historians valuable insights into the history of naval warfare and the Tudor era.
1,
The Ghost Fleet. So on this list, we've had wreckages from some of the most famous boats in history, the Apollo 11 wreckage, and even underwater statues and structures. How can we top this list off? Well, how about the remains of an entire military fleet? On February 17, 1944, the Allied powers bombed Chuk Lagoon, a Japanese stronghold in the Caroline Islands. This surprise attack killed hundreds and destroyed approximately 250 aircraft and 50 ships. The wreckage was submerged to the bottom of the lagoon, where it went undiscovered until the 1960s. When divers started investigating the site, they found the debris and wreckage of all the vehicles that still contained all of the soldiers' bodies.
Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more Elite Facts.